everybody can enjoy a little turkey. And Brother Steve, you're fairly new to this rivalry. What do you think of it?
I think it's a great tradition. I think it gets everybody pumped, and as Dr. Wenko just said, I think it's a wonderful. Records go out the window, so I'm looking forward to a really good game today. Our guys are really pumped, and I think we'll have a great day.
Hopefully everybody stays warm and they eat good afterwards and remain friends afterwards.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You guys have other things to do, the traditional coin toss? Well, Paul, the records can certainly be thrown out the window. Each team needing to finish the season strong, and a win against the other one would be the right panacea.
No question, John. These are two very, very well-coached teams. And we at Lincoln played Marist. We know what they can do. I've seen all the Bayonne games. I mean, these teams are well drilled. They've had unfortunate years. They've played very good schedules. Both of them have played two of the toughest schedules in the county, and they've been very unfortunate in a lot of their games. That's all going to come out today against each other. It's going to be take your anger out on the other team, on the sister schools from up and down the boulevard, and they're going to let it all hang out.
And weather certainly can play a factor. A very stiff breeze blowing from our right to left, actually in our faces. We stand here now, and of course it is raining, it is overcast. And last year Bayonne played the game under what were fairly deplorable conditions, but they played it on Thanksgiving. Marist has returned the favor this year.
Yes, true, John. It's a tough call, but you want to try and get this game played on Thanksgiving. If the weather isn't too bad, which it isn't right now, you want to keep that crowd coming. When you don't play the game on Thanksgiving morning, it loses some of its luster. It really does. People may not want to come, but they like to come to a game on Thanksgiving morning. And and these kids are ready to play. And the weather is, I think, it's not great, but it's cooperating a little bit. It's a lot better than last year.
Heck, this is football, not tennis.
That's right.
That's right. Phil Prodigal killed me. Well, we've done everything. We've had a dinner. We've had a couple of shows previewing this, and we waited a couple of weeks for it. As a matter of fact, Bayonne, I think, has been waiting 365 days for this game. There's only one thing left to do, and that's you take a look at head coach John Rickard and his Bayonne Bees on the far sideline, something they've grown accustomed to since the St. Peter's prep game, but in the unordinary position of wearing their white jerseys at the Dom for the first time in over 10 years. Last time they did that, they were the visiting team in the matchup against Marist. So it'll be Bayonne to kick off. Bayonne won the toss and decided to defer, and Paul, that could be a big play.
Big play and a good decision, John, because if you take a look, we get a shot later at where the way the flag is blowing is a tremendous wind on the field coming from the bay across as it normally does here. That's a great decision. Even though you put the ball in the hands of a good offense, you want to get the ball down the field and pin them in and make them work the ball down the field.
And the Bees are set to kick off. They will travel from left to right on your television screen. Garnet pants and trim and helmets with white jerseys. Marist receiving, going right to left. Gold helmets and pants, blue shirts with white numbering, and that ball is kicked out of bounds. And the first play of the game results in a penalty against Bayonne, and that'll move the ball out to the 40-yard line.
That's one of the dangers, John, of a hash kickoff. Kick the ball out of bounds sometimes. However, if it works, and it almost did, it can pin the returning team in.
Well, the ball is now moved out to, I believe it'll be the 40-yard line. Let's take a look at the officials. Mike Ricknauer is the back judge, Greg Bailey the line judge, linesman is Bob Vetrano, Jay Baumgartner is the referee, and the umpire is Bob Hopkins. So the ball is at the 35-yard line. I apologize. First and 10 yards to go for a first down. First play from scrimmage on a cold and windy Thanksgiving morning at Don Ahern Veterans Memorial Stadium. John Hester and Paul Giorgio, glad you could be with us. It's right up the middle. And I believe that's Victor Brown fighting his way forward to the 45-yard line, very close to first down yardage. Now let's take a look at the offensive unit for the Marist Royal Knights. Chris Baker, the quarterback, southpaw. John Stinson and Kahil Jackson are the wideouts. Victor Brown, Jaleel Lamb, and Kevin Elam will do the running. John Harper, Mike Machucky, Hector Aguadello, Fernando Rodriguez, and Paul Stackhouse, the center. Rounding out the offensive unit for the boys in blue. Second down and inches to pick up a first down, and it's Brown who gets the call again. This time he doesn't have nearly the same success. However, he does pick up a first down. He was tackled on the play by Marion Reed. Defensively for the Bayonne Bees, up front, Kurt Bullwith, Anthony Salerno, Phil Saladin, Marion Reeves, and Tom Kachansky. The linebackers are Tony Freet, Terrence Glover, who has missed quite a few games. His presence certainly welcome. Alex Parker and Mike Embrich on the corners. Safeties, Joe Christopher and Jesse Mays. First and 10 from the 46-yard line. And there's a mishandled snap. And let's see, there's a scramble. And Marist able to come up with the loose football.
You may see a lot of that there, John, with the conditions. As we know, right in the middle of the field is where it's the worst. There's a puddle right on the 50-yard line. And that's where the field is going to be the soggiest. Marist, you can see, John, trying to get that ground game established inside with Victor Brown. He's been a pleasant surprise. When Kevin Elam got hurt earlier in the year, Brown got a lot more playing time in the fullback spot and really did a great job. He runs the football very well inside. Of course, Marist can get that inside running game going. He's going to set up two things, their play-action passing game and also their outside deal.
Trying to soften up that middle. They lose 2 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 12, first possession of the game. Marist traveling into a very stiff wind. And goes in motion, that's Brown, and they pitch it outside for Kevin Elam. Slips a tackle of Glover, fumbles the football, and falls on it at the 49-yard line. He picks up about 6 yards.
You saw Glover flying from his inside linebacker spot, John. Elam had an alley on the outside. He got a couple good seal blocks. Got outside on the toss, but Glover got a hand on him, and then he hit again later. I'll tell you, he burped it again, but Marist was just fortunate to get the bounces there early. Another look. You see a good block by Khalil Lamb on Chansky. You can see Glover flying across, but a little too high, and Elam gets through. Another good downfield block, and then he loses the football on the hit by Chris.
Elam has checked that Glover missing several games due to a deep thigh bruise, and he certainly was missed both offensively and defensively. On a 3rd and 6, nothing doing. Jaleel Lamb into the heart of the Bee defense. He has stood up, and he maybe got back to the line of scrimmage.
Marist trying to run a power that time and going to the right for the first time. Interesting calls on it. It looks as though they may be looking to play some field position. Of course, they don't want to be stopped, but now they're in a position where they can pump the ball and maybe spin Bayonne in a little bit on a wet field like that. It's not a bad strategy.
And it'll be Kevin Elam who will await the snap at his own 40-yard line. Alex Parker retreats to his 22. And Jesse Mays creeps up, expecting maybe that there would be a big low-line drive. And it'll roll dead at the 34-yard line.
It's very windy out there. It's a tough wind to kick into. A little extracurricular activity on the field. Jesse Mays and you and Marist plays. You might see some of that today. So there's no love lost between these two teams. That goes without saying. These kids get really pumped up for this game. And, we call it the Battle of Bayonne, John, but really when you think about it, most of the Marist team comes from Jersey City, so it's almost like a cross-town, two-town rivalry.
Well, one of the good things, George's Public Grub stepping up and providing dinner for these young men and getting them, I think, in the same room the week of the game certainly added fuel to the fire. Cheatham gives it to Terrence Glover on the first play of the game for the Bees from scrimmage. And Glover is swallowed by Paul Stackhouse. Offensively for the Bees, their quarterback is Cheatham. Glover and Salerno are in the backfield. Jesse Mays and Alex Parker are the wideouts. Offensive linemen, Dave Chiappo, Phil Saladin, Brian and Chris Helinski, the brother duo, and Tony Freed is the center. Kurt Bullwith, the tight end, who's having himself an excellent junior year. And if he continues to improve like he has this year, he could be a big-time Division I prospect.
Right now, John, we're seeing double tight formation from Bayonne, something that we haven't seen much of.
And that's Salerno pulling his way forward. Kevin Elam was there. Also Hector Aguadelo stopped at the 38-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 6.
Salerno was a player, young player, a sophomore who has gotten better with each game, much as Chris Baker has for Marist. He's a force. Has been a great game with the Emerson coverage.
Defensively for the Royal Knights, Victor Brown and Mike Machucky in the defensive backfield. Paul Stackhouse, Martin Callan, Walter Peavy, and Lee George. Sheer Henry, Jaleel Lamb, and Kevin Elam along with Luis Garcia rounding out the secondary. Making up the defensive unit that Kevin Batty will be counting on. Alex Parker goes in motion, 3rd down and a short 6. Cheatham rolling out to his left. Now he's going to tuck it under, going for the first down, and he has it at the 46-yard line.
Got a good downfield block from Joe Christopher out on the perimeter, John, which allowed him to get that extra 3 or 4 yards. Nice little scheme by Bayonne. They ran sprint out action. But as soon as Cheatham saw the alley, he took it.
First down in the game for the Bees. And as Paul mentioned, they come out with these double tight end set. If you take a look again, Paul.
One time they went regular pro, but they motioned. So they got basically a slot to the left and then went with the sprint out. Looks like Cheatham was looking to run that all the way.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line of the Bees. Played about 6 minutes of this first quarter in Salerno. Runs into a blue jersey, gains about a yard. Let's see who it was that made the tackle. I think it was Bashir Henry. Actually, might have been Paul Stackhouse on the tackle.
Well, you'll be calling his name quite often, John. Stackhouse, much like Glover, maybe not quite as severely, missed a number of games in the middle of the season. Glover, of course, missed about 5 or 6, but he is a mainstay on this squad, John, no question.
2nd down and 9 yards to go for a first down. They need to get the ball to the 44-yard line, and Cheatham, that play broke down immediately, and he is tackled for a big loss at the 41-yard line.
Well, if you're going to make a mistake, that's one thing. If you're going to make a mistake in the area of Jalal Alam, now you're asking for problems because he very rarely misses a tackle.
And Lamb put the clamps on Cheatham. We've seen Cheatham make many a big play out of a broken play, but not a chance that time.
No way.
It'll be the Bees that are faced with the 3rd down and 14. And of course, the weather conditions not conducive to throwing the football. However, the wind is at their back, so unless they're too evil, if you're going to do it, it's probably the situation where you want to do it.
Absolutely, no question about it, John. Third team, you know, it's a good situation to throw the football, as you said. They don't come down the ice yet.
3rd down and long. Marist shows blitz, and there is movement on the left side of the Bayonne line.
Like forward.
And that'll march Bayonne back 5 yards. If that is, in fact, what took place. And you mentioned Bolwith. It was his father's team, Tom Bolwith's team, that got this series started back in 1960 with a 32-7 win over Marist. Wanted me to mention that. Tom's still a very big fan of Sports Corner.
Yeah.
Still wants to get that chalk talk on.
Yeah, right. With Russ, right?
That's right. As the wind now and rain really beginning to pick up.
Yeah, it's always a lovely day up here.
This is eerily reminiscent of last year, and about this time in last year's game.
Possible we can start spring football here at Bayonne?
Got to play it on Thanksgiving, however, and I don't think anyone's going to complain about it. 3rd down and 18 again. Here comes Lamb on the blitz. Cheatham lobs one up for Jesse Mays, and it's almost intercepted. Right there, step for step with Mays is Luis Garcia, and the Bees will now have to punt.
It's not a bad call. Hanging out with Ferraro too much, John. They run a fade pattern to Mays against Marist's right corner, who was giving up a lot of size to Jesse Mays. It comes to the jump ball. However, Cheatham got a little bit too much on it. Sometimes the wind will not be your friend too if it carries the ball downfield further than you hope.
So it'll be Darius Hill, and a bit of a sloppy snap, and it's
Oh.
a fake punt. That pass is complete, and it's going to be a first down. Elizar Jimenez off the pass from Darius Hill.
Jimenez got most of that on his own, John. Marist had the play stopped. It looked like it was going to be stopped, but Jimenez just was not to be denied. Good call and a bad snap, which started things off. It looked like things were going to go bad for Bayonne there. And Hill just got it out to him. That's all he had to do was pitch it out. Jimenez was so wide open on the fake. Here we get it again. And he ran past one defender and then just lowered his head and was not to be denied.
Jimenez making the big play, the first big play of the game. Cheatham keeps it, and now he has some room. Duval Cheatham's got 9 yards on the first down carry. And Paul, we've been doing these games now for 4 years. That is the first thing I can remember John Rickard running out of a special teams play.
Yeah, I believe you're right, John. And, it's a great call. Obviously, they watched film and saw something that was going to work for them, and they utilized it.
And not an easy play to execute with the wind and the, as you said, a bad snap. Tom Kachansky, the snapper, I was thinking right before that play, he's done such a good job. Every snap seems to get right where it has to be. And That time a bit of a bouncer, but worked anyway. And it's Salerno, first man through, has got a first down to the 22-yard line.
Now you talked about a special teams play, John. That could have been the jolt that Bayonne needed here to get their juices flowing. That was a big, big play. Bayonne would have been punting and giving the ball back to Marist. And instead, now they're on a roll. You can see the emotional lift it's given them.
Salerno, only a sophomore. His playing time has increased throughout the season, and he certainly has merited that increased playing time.
Doesn't sound like Keith Jackson.
First and 10 from the 22-yard line. The Bees are on the move. 3:15 remaining in the first quarter. Cheatham will keep it, and he gets down to about the 20-yard line, maybe just shy. And it'll be second down and 8.
Somewhere in the back of John Richard's mind, he has to be saying to himself, we've got bad conditions, field's wet, please don't let the old bugaboo that's haunted us all year long come back to the center exchange. Hopefully they only have that rectified today.
Take a look at Terrence Glover jogging in from the sideline along with Deval Cheatham. Kevin Elam is headed to the locker room for the Marist Royal Knights. Seems to be favoring his left leg, walking rather gingerly, so not good for the Royal Knights. Elam a key cog both offensively and defensively.
That's problems all year with neck injury.
Apparently that is the call. Offside on the offense.
All lined up in the neutral zone. I guess maybe one of the wideouts. Sometimes the official will allow you to check. So I guess maybe whoever it was did not check with the official when they called it.
That turns to second down and 8 into a second and 13. Don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure out how much that hurts. And the Bees are probably in 4-down territory. The fact that they're not very adept at kicking field goals. Cheatham with the pitch to Glover. Has a little bit of room out in the flat. 20, 15, and he's tripped up at the 13-yard line.
Good job by Glover. You can see what he brings to this team, John. They did not have some good, solid outside running ability. And Darius Hiller's played the tailback spot there in the year, but he's only a sophomore. He's got a lot to learn. We got Glover back in the game. We had a whole different dimension to this offense.
And it's a first down for the Bees, so the second and 13 play results in a first down. Oh, actually, it's not a first down. Third down and 1.
Stop saying I'm watching those hockey games.
My Devils won again. You take a look at first-year head coach Kevin Matty. Cheatham keeps it up the middle. Touchdown.
It was a dive option, and Cheatham saw a crease, and the coach will instruct the quarterback, if you see something, take it. You saw Marist overcompensate to the dive action, took it up the crease, and Bayonne has the lead, and John has got to be happy. It's the first time they've scored in this game since last year.
He didn't score last year.
All
Yep.
So with your first blood, it's a great drive, and an excellent change of events with that big punt.
So in a minute and 7 to go in the first quarter, the Bayonne Bees have gotten on the board first, and they will go for 2. And again, they have struggled in an effort to kick extra points. Don't even consider kicking field goals. Out of the I formation, mishandled snap, and Cheatham is immediately snowed up. Ah, the ball is somehow picked up by Glover, and Glover almost makes his way in. That was a bizarre play.
Wow.
Strange.
Sound like Peter Selleck.
So the run failed, but it is 6-0 Bees. And you're going to get another look at the play. It caught everybody by surprise. Well, even Cheatham seemed to be shocked that there was so much room up the middle.
Well, I had said before about these center exchanges. Well, this is a touchdown. Okay, watch. You can see this dive fake. Now, normally the quarterback will take this. He saw the lane closed outside and just made a nice little cutback. You have to have good vision. Cheatham does have that. One of the reasons why they run this offense. That takes it up the gut for really an easy touchdown.
A 13-yard touchdown run by Deval Cheatham. And it's 6-0 Bees as the rain continues to fall at a fairly rapid pace. It is cold and it is windy. Good football weather. Want to let everybody know that Brian Campbell from Pamlico Savings Bank is on hand, and he will be presenting trophies on behalf of Pamlico Savings Bank to both teams, a MVP award and also the lineman of the game, a traditional award that was brought back last year. And Hill gets a good foot into this one, and it takes a Bayonne bounce into the end zone, and it will be a touchback. Also at the conclusion of this contest, Unico will award an MVP award, a beautiful watch to members of each team. And I think we will work in conjunction with them, so someone might get a trophy and a watch.
Wow, so
A lot on the line here.
Because I noticed, you've been late a little bit lately, so, make sure you get here on time. Tom Ferraro got me down here at 8:30 in the morning, so my new agent.
Yeah, that's what you needed, right? And you can see the center of the field beginning to build up with water. And it's supposed to be like this throughout the day, actually throughout the next couple of days. So I guess Kevin Batty figuring that this is going to be the best chance he's going to have to play this game, and if it's going to be in rotten conditions, you might as well do it on Thanksgiving. And the pitch, nothing doing.
Jesse Mays coming up from the strong safety spot, John. He's been outstanding all year long. And comes up and makes a big play on that toss. And Marist tries to run with Lamb. So the Marist Royal Knights right now set back on their heels, and obviously that big punt, big play.
35 seconds approximately remaining in the first quarter. And Marist will probably get one more play off. Not in any kind of a hurry, of course, going into a stiff breeze. Their offense will be somewhat limited what they can do through it, throwing the ball in the air. So they will take their time, it appears. Baker down behind center, the junior southpaw quarterback. And right up the middle, Jaleel Lamb gets back to the original line of scrimmage, so he gets back to 4 yards he lost on first down, and it's 3rd and 10.
Good stick applied there for Bayonne. Looks like number 34, Marion Reed, who came crashing down. It was an inside veer. An inside veer, John, what you do is you double team down, you leave the tackle alone, and the quarterback's got to read that. The tackle comes upfield after the quarterback, he lets the fullback take the ball. In that case, Reed stepped down, and Baker didn't read it all that well, and that's why he scored, because the fullback took a shot.
That is the end of the first quarter as you see the Bees gathering on the far sideline. Good first quarter for John Rickard's Bees. Excellent drive, as Paul mentioned, aided by the gambling play, big punt on a long down and distance. I think it was a 4th and 18.
Yeah,
And he picked
fourth
up
was very long, and it worked. But I'll tell you, Marist did have the play covered, and great effort, got the first down. So sometimes you have unsung heroes in these games. That MVP award could go back to a play like that.
it was Jimenez who made the catch, and then the bold run ran over Garcia and picked up the first down, and the Bees went in. The Bees had the football once.
As your buddy say, we're rocking and rolling.
That's not my money. So now Marist will get an opportunity with the wind at their back. See if they're more inclined to put the ball in the air. They did not throw the football in the first quarter. Only possessed it 2 times. It's their second possession of the game. So quick moving first quarter.
Yes. Get that on this type of field, I would think, with Marist, but I'm sure with the wind, they're going to look to throw the football a lot more. Now, you talk about throwing the football, Bayonne's got a decent secondary out there, John, with Jesse Mays and Christopher. Houston is fairly healthy here today. So, Chris Baker's a good quarterback with good receivers. He's going to be tested.
3rd down and 10 to the 20-yard line. First play of the second quarter. Bayonne leads by a score of 6-0 on Turkey Day. And they're trying to give it to Lamb. He does get it eventually, but he's tackled for a 5-yard loss.
The veer reverse play, John, but there was a bad exchange, bad fake on the veer fake, and threw the whole timing of the play up. Baker did not get the football until late, and then gave it to Lamb coming on the reverse, but Salerno was already there to stop him.
Pat Devaney who comes in to kick for Marist. Standing standing at his own 4-yard line. Don't forget it's a wet ball. First punt was a low-line drive, never really got up in the air. This one a much better kick. Taken by Embrich at the 45. Check that, that's Parker. And he's knocked out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Great field position for the Bees.
We talked earlier, John, about field position, how important it is. And Bayonne definitely won that war. They gained the advantage when they take the punt, throw it down the field, and then he'll kick the ball into the end zone. Marist has not been able to compensate for that. Bayonne, although they are going into the wind, only have 32 yards to travel.
58 seconds gone by in quarter number 2. Bayonne on top 6-0, and you see Parker. Better kick than the first one, but it was really didn't get much air under it. So good opportunity for Parker to return it. Out of the I formation, Parker goes in motion from left to right. And another flag. Flinched on the offensive line for the Bees.
Right now, this has been the biggest problem for them, John. These little penalties they're getting, they look little, only 5 yards. But when you're starting first and 15, it's a lot tougher, especially when you're on a bad field. As opposed to when you get that first and 10, you get 4 or 5 yards on the first down, and you only got 3 down to make 4 or 5. Here you've got 15 yards to go. It's tough.
First and 15. The ball is 37-yard line. Parker again goes in motion, and it is Salerno. And Salerno is hit by Aguadello. Tries to fight his way forward, but he may not have even gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
You see a pile up like that too on a muddy field. The guys went to stay in the bridge and get worried. Get over extension. But someone comes out of that okay. Dive option. Nothing doing. Good look at the Bayonne offensive squad right now in the huddle. Discussion between Reed and Forward. John, you mentioned Forward before, and without question, in my opinion, and I think the opinion of a lot of people, certainly the best tight end in Hudson County, in the HCIAA, probably all of Hudson County. Sensational player, blocker, good hand, good defensive player, and a chip off the old block. You know, quite a player himself.
Clemson Tiger. So probably something that young Kurt Mullen will start having to deal with. That's a good problem to have. Picking where you want to go to school. But he has improved steadily from his sophomore year to his junior year. Even throughout the season, he is much better in game 10 than he was in game 2.
Always nice to have a choice. If you're going to come to a game on a day like this, that's the umbrella you want. So that gentleman right there does some golf.
And this is going to be, from what we understand, the final game in the Don as we know it. The bleachers, having been condemned, or at least partially condemned, are going to be knocked down.
That's the part you're standing on, that's condemned, right?
Right. So I think it's supposedly unsafe, but they let us up here. Cheatham keeps it at the 35, and Victor Brown piggybacks them down to the 31-yard line.
A nice fake by Cheatham on the outside here. Mark Callan, a little laid back on that. He's got to come up and force a little bit harder, John. He's a little soft coming up on his outside contain. I'm sure Coach Patty's going to address that. He's got to be more aggressive here. He doesn't be worried about making a mistake. He's got to be aggressive. Try and make the play. Take a look at it. You'll see Callan a little bit hesitant. And Cheatham's able to put a move on him. And Brown is there to help out.
Third down and 9 from the 32-yard line. And Cheatham gives it to Salerno again, and he makes it to the 30. So he'll be well shy of a first down. And it'll be 4th down and 7. And what do you do?
Well, we talked about field position. Macy punt here to Pitt Marist. However, it looks like John's going to call a play. It's a good 4th down territory. I think he's confident right now in his defense in what they've done. So I can see him going for 4th down here. But bad play. Marist had covered. But, you know, he's ahead. If you're inside the 30, take a shot at it, see what you can get, and play defense.
They need to get the ball down to the 22-yard line. Jesse Mays has swung out by himself on the far side. Back to pass goes Cheatham. Dumps it outside the Glover to 30, slips a tackle to 30, and he'll be short of the first down as he's knocked down at the 24-yard line. Paul Stackhouse made the play.
That's what Paul Stackhouse brings to the table, John. That's what Marist missed in the middle portion of their season when they went up against Penn Charter and also Lincoln and a few other games. He wasn't there, and you weren't getting that kind of play. That was a big, big play, because if Bayonne gets the first down there, they may be going in for the second touchdown. Coach Rickett now happy right now. He's ahead. The field is playing to his advantage right now, obviously. The defense can come up with a stop. And wind blowing, and see if Marist puts the ball up.
Haven't done anything through the air yet. Flag down on the play. Gain of 1. Baker kept it. And he was tackled, I believe it was Bullet. Anthony Salerno was there. Probably a hold.
Yeah, that's what we're going to get. What you want on first down, trying to get something established. That will be a 10-yard penalty. If it's outside the 20, the entire yardage will be assessed. And now you got first and 20, and you haven't done anything really since Coach Betty. Not happy at all, obviously. And it's got to be a little concerned now. They really haven't done anything since the first series. Of course, we talked about how important Stackhouse seems to Bayonne, and of course, Terrence Glover being back in the lineup for, for Marist. Terrence Glover is for Bayonne, obviously. So makes a big, big difference there as well.
And Elam going out early in this contest, and we have yet to see him return. So another big blow injury-wise for the Royal Knights. First down and 20. They need to move the ball out to the 34-yard line, and a pass outside for Lamb. He was open, but a little bit behind him.
Good pressure from Salerno, John. It wasn't just a weather-affected ball. It was a little dash of Salerno thrown in too. He was right in Baker's face. And Lamb is the guy you don't want him to get the football out on the perimeter, because not only does he have good speed, he's extremely strong and great tackle. See, they're clearing out and trying to get it out to Lamb in the flat, and that poses a problem for any defense. The idea is to not let him get it.
These two teams mirroring each other in so many ways. Mentioned the injuries to key players on defense and offense, and the close losses. Marist a couple of plays away from 5 wins, as is Bayonne.
Yes, no question. As I said, two of the unluckiest teams in Hudson County this year.
Well, someone hoping their luck will change today. Same exact play, and it's picked off by Embrich at the 20, 10, touchdown.
Well, tried it once, they went back to it. Embrich wasn't fighting, he was ready for it. Came up and really made an easy play. Lamb had no chance at it, and the Bees are up 12-0.
That was Mike Embrich who picked off the pass and went the other way. He didn't start this season as a starter. And that is a big play. So we're not even halfway through this game, and Bayonne is the team that is making the big plays. You see him deflect Stephen Batty, and his team back on their heels a little bit.
No, they certainly are. He's not happy. Not a good pass for Baker. Embrich makes a nice play. Bayonne with it, 12 up the lead. See if they can add it before it's easy.
And Cheatham keeps it.
He might be a little short.
Yeah, you're right. And he is denied. And we're going to take another look at the big play on defense.
There it is. You can see good pressure that time from Creed. And right there, he played it right all the way. And pressure, helping out. Baker sailing it up in the air. Throw a ball out in the flat, John. You can't hang it. You got to drill it. And he goes soaring through the air, as our buddy John Nagel likes to say. Especially when he's throwing a hobo game.
Well, Marist has some work to do now, down 12-0. But the strength of this Marist club is their offense. And they are the type of team that can come from behind. So no need to panic just yet, when they really haven't shown any signs of life on offense.
No, they haven't. And the Bayonne defense has done a great job, especially earlier right now, John, the pressure is very important. The pass pressure, twice they've been in Baker's face. Once he forces a bad catch, the other time they get a turnover.
So it's Cheatham who will kick. And that one's another. And Mark Callan's returning it to the 36-yard line, so much better starting field position for Marist. And we'll see if they can do anything to get themselves back into this contest. 8 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the first half. Bayonne on top by a score of 12-0.
I think they've been a little bit slow off the ball here early, John. I don't know if it's because of the wet field condition, but I've seen them much better, quicker off the snap than earlier games.
First and 10 from the 36-yard line. Brown in the backfield along with Lamb. Fumbled snap. Baker then fumbles the football. And Marist, I think, got it back. Somebody tried to pick it up and run with it.
Oh,
I think it was Alex Parker.
like a rugby scrub. We talked about, bad center exchanges. Time Marist falls victim to it. Baker has had trouble, though, handling the ball as well, John. We've seen it a couple times as he was going to make guys fakes, fumbling the ball a little bit. And you can't realize, unless you play this game, what that thing gets like. It's already, that ball is a weird shaped object to begin with, and it's got some mud and wetness on it. It's almost impossible.
Turns out to be a positive play for the Royal Knights. Picked up 8 yards, so second down and 2. And Lamb very close to first down yardage. Looks like he's about a half a yard shy. Tony Freed made the initial hit.
Tony Freed is doing a great job early in the game, John. Short. Call for a measurement, but he looks short.
Sure does.
Now it's in a position right now, John, where they really think they make something positive happen. But they have been a pretty good come from behind team this year. They're down in a few of their games and come back.
Ball on the money with the measurement. About a half a yard, if that, short. So this will be a big third down play. Of course, Marist, you have to get on the scoreboard, want to keep that football out of Bayonne's hands. They need to get to the 46-yard line there. It's about the 45 3/4. Third down and inches. Baker, and he fumbled it again, I think. No, he didn't.
Whether he fumbled it or not, but he certainly didn't get the first down unless he gets an extremely generous mark. He's not going to have it.
Now, what does Kevin Batty do?
Well, he's got the win, John. That's another reason why I'm not a head coach.
That's how you lose your hair.
That's just like punting the ball.
I think he's going to go for it.
They said he got field position. Hit Bayonne in a little bit on this kind of day, hopefully a turnover. If you get the first down, he still got 53 yards to travel. So.
It looks like Baker, when he comes out from behind center, he comes out awkwardly almost on every play.
Today, especially, I mean, as I said, he's shown great improvements during the year, but he's definitely having trouble today.
Well, Batty has made his decision. He is going to go for it.
Always got a bunt. He got way ahead. I will make a decision for him.
As penalties go, that is not a good one.
Now, you know what, John? Yes and no. You're right. Okay, they want to run a play, but I think it's going to turn out being a blessing for him.
Well, it'll be Devaney to punt. Got off a much better kick with the wind at his back. This is his third punt. you may as well let it bounce, and it takes a very friendly bounce for the Royal Knights, and it will be down at about the 17-yard line. That turns out to be a really good kick.
Yeah, they're still early in the game. It's down 12-0 kind of day. Bayonne's had trouble handling the ball all year long. We know that. These conditions, it makes it even tougher. I think it's a pretty good strategy.
It'll be first and 10 from at the 17.5-yard line for the Bees. Not a lot of possession for this first half. 5:19 remaining until halftime. And the Bees on top by a score of 12-0. The big play, a 24-yard interception return for a touchdown by Mike Embrich. And it's Cheatham who keeps it and makes his way out to the 25-yard line.
Cheatham looks very comfortable running the offense here today, John, thus far. He had that dive going early well with Salerno, and of course that's the big thing in opening up your offense. And he handled the ball very well on the perimeter. He's getting good creeks. He's getting significant yardage, 5-6 yards. He doesn't have to pitch the ball right now in most cases. It's simply one-time Glover. And, when you run in the options, the quarterback can get you to 5-6 yards. You can avoid the pitch. You're happy with that.
Third, check that second down and about 3 yards to go for a first down. Cheatham checks back with his fullback, Salerno. Actually, it was Glover who was lined up in the fullback spot. Darius Hill, tailback position. Bayonne is pleased with whatever it is that has developed.
Obviously here, Coach Batty not want to see Bayonne matriculate down the field. Touchdown, Bayonne score here before the half. They got a long way to go yet. Somehow get another offensive going. Doing it 2-0 on a day like today. Big trouble.
And another whistle.
Another clock to take not efficient. So, we will get a 4-minute warning when there is no official clock. That's something, John, on my own, I guess because of Jersey City, we're a little bit spoiled as far as the rules and the phone numbers at our home games. But this is why there isn't one in every game. It's such an important thing, and that's the gentleman up there that's doing a great job, no question. But it's so important for the fans, too, and the coaches, just look down and make sure that time's efficient.
I agree 100%. Oh. Challenge makes the touch. Mishandled exchange you talked about.
Well, than both teams here today thus far, but in these conditions you can understand it. Still going back in. Also, a big advantage for John today having Glover back. John, he's got more options. Put Glover in the tail, he can put him in the full, he can put Hill, he's got more people to use, he's Salerno as well. And that's going to help everything related to their offense.
They lose a couple of yards on the play. Second down and 12 yards to go for a first down. Mays swung out to the near side. And Callens is right there. Cheatham thought about maybe pitching that one forward to Glover, but wisely held on to the football, but he ends up losing 5 yards on the play.
A good scheme there, John. Looks like Daddy put Callens in between the tight end and tackle spot and sent him what they sometimes call a hard call on that option. As I said, Callens was retreating a little bit, and this time Coach Batty forced him to be more aggressive by sending him off the snap, and there's the result.
And Coach Batty using his second timeout. So obviously wants to get that football back. One more crack before the end of the half. And with the third down and 18 upcoming, he is in a good position to do that. Still one timeout remaining and 2 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in the half. Coach Batty with a scowl on his face. He had that game face on pretty darn early today. He just seemed like he was ready to go for the word go.
Important football game. Well, they're all important, but it's a big rivalry. But it's also the last game of the season, John. And really, believe me, I can tell you, much better disposition when you win that last game.
Now Cheatham on the 3rd down and long, and the Bees play it safe. Agudelo and Brown and Stackhouse are there, so the Bees will have to punt into the wind.
Well, Marist right now getting their most advantageous series defensively since early in the game. I think they may get pretty good field position, although we've seen Hill, even in bad conditions, move the ball well. I'm not sure that's Baker in too. There's no one on that far wide out for Bayonne on the right side. There's nobody there.
They did it again. And it's going to be a first down again. Jesse Mays at the 40. Jesse Mays is going to go the distance on a fake punt for a touchdown.
That's twice that happened. There was no one covering the wideout. There was some kind of mix-up for Marist on their punt team, on their punt return team. And all of a sudden it's 18-0, and that could be a crush.
76-yard touchdown pass from Hill to Mays. And that's got to be something that's just a glitch, because that was wide open again.
More so than the first time.
Right.
And Marist, again, had a couple people in the area. Jesse Mays made a great run, though. He cut back nicely and then ran to daylight up the center of the field. And that's something that you can't allow happen. You've got to have those wideouts covered.
Well, the Bayonne offense has not been explosive at all. And the longest play from scrimmage until that point was 33 yards. That was just a 76-yard touchdown pass. And they will go for 2 with Hill. Hill only done his punt so far. He's the only one with a clean jersey. And Cheatham again trying to make his way in. That's about the only thing the Bees haven't done right, is get that 2-point conversion. They now lead 18-0 with 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. That is a crushing blow. Kevin Batty managed the clock very well. They were in a position to get the ball back in a great, as you said, advantageous position on the field, and then a big play.
I couldn't believe it. I figured there's nobody on Mays. He's spread out to the right, and there's no one out there on him. He's pitching the ball, and then we get the first down. Goes beyond. Daddy's talking now about the mix-up on the field. For some reason, one of the Marist outside people did not cover Mays.
Nick, you got that wide out. No, you got to cover the wide out. Let everybody else run.
And getting the job done on special teams. Obviously, they've seen something on the film, or they're using a different punt look that Marist wasn't prepared for. I haven't seen. We've done a couple Bayonne games, but I haven't seen if they use spread punt all that much. I think they did. Really got a clip on that, but whoever that lineman was strong enough not to hit back out into that. Can't the foot race there, and Mays is winning that one. No one on him.
A couple of wild plays here in this first half, and 18-0 in favor of Bayonne. Cheatham gets a nice high kick, and it's fumbled.
Goodness. Wow. Nothing going right for the Royal Knights right now. And get something going on offense. But that is a crushing touchdown right now. That's gotta hurt. I've said it before. It's very tough position to come back in. They've got a decent chance in the game. But Bayonne has stifled them. But we'll have to end the last 2 minutes.
Wonder if Marist is a little gun shy. Want to dig themselves a deeper hole, but down 18-0. Got to get going quickly. First and 10. And Baker keeps it, spinning around at the 30-yard line, picked up 3.
Bayonne's done a great job of defending the options today, John. No question. They stuffed the dive, and that really starts the whole process. And when Baker's moved out to the perimeter, they've been able to contain him as well. He doesn't have Cheatham speed, but he has gotten better at running the optional direct. Good job by Glover coming up and stuffing the side fake. Created a little bit of disturbance, forced Baker to alter his route.
Clock ticking with about a minute to go. And Marist may just want to take this one into the locker room. Baker throws it over the middle. And there is going to be a flag. And it looked as though when Bashir Henry went to make his move to the inside, he got tangled up. And then it's going to be a pass interference call.
Jumpy, you're right there. There is a problem. It looks like Baker is pulling out too soon. Now, that could be because the center is not getting the ball out of the mud quick enough. And flipping his hand to try to snap it. Because I really haven't seen Baker have this trouble doing here. It looks like as he starts to come out off the snap, he's coming out a little early. And the ball's coming up a little late. That could be because of the mud condition. That guy probably having trouble getting the ball up out of the mud.
It's almost as if he reaches back down for the football. So Marist was not going to go into the half without giving it a shot. Ball at the 45-yard line, about 58 seconds to go, and movement. Big John Harper, a little anxious, and that'll cost the Royal Knights 5 yards.
Not been a good first half for Coach Patty Schwartz. It's been excellent first half for John Schwartz. I don't know, John hasn't enjoyed too many 18-point leads this year. I know no game they were up by a few. And of course, Thursday and going to here, so he's got to be very happy about what's going on right now.
So it'll be 1st and 15 for Marist. Stinson swung out to the far side. Matched up with Parker. And Baker to throw.
And again, no. Close.
Trying to get Stinson on that slant. That was very close.
Stinson's a pretty good receiver. He'll be back next year. Hopefully he's one of the skilled players ready to come back next season. But have any problems. But Bayonne has, for the most part, covered well here today.
They'll make it 2nd down and 15. Marist with 1 timeout remaining in the neighborhood of 54 seconds until the break. They would dearly love to get some points on the board before they head to the locker room.
Bayonne and what amounts to nickel coverage right now, John. Actually, not really a nickel, but they are backed up. Cover 4. They're playing man a little bit too. That's what they are doing.
And that pass is complete. Baker kind of lofted that one up, and the receiver, Stinson, making the adjustment at the 42-yard line. So the clock will stop as they move the chains. Marist in business.
That's exactly what happened, John. Just throwing it up to Stinson, making the adjustment. It's a good play because the offensive guy knows what he's doing, and the defender has to react off that. Playing in the mud like this, the defender can't stop. The offensive guy's got the advantage. And take that much longer for the defender to compensate. And they're able to get the football underneath.
Clock ticking with 30 seconds to go. And Baker pitches it outside to Victor Brown. And Brown is hogtied by Alex Parker.
Oh, flag too.
And he...
Rogers would say that.
Well, he put the old move they just outlawed in the NFL where you slit the throat. He put the slit the throat action towards the Marist bench. There's actually Joe Christopher.
Got banged up on the play as well as he went out. He's limping. And Rickard is not going to be happy about that.
That is, well, that's a play that Brett this week.
Another play earlier in the game do it too. I'm not going to mention the name, but I guess the referees may have said something, and this time they called it. The fine was doled out this week in the NFL, right?
Yeah, you can get fined, and it can be a penalty. There are 15 seconds remaining in the half. One timeout still for Marist. Marist has a shot here.
Bayonne's with the nickel now. That side keeps in. Very loose.
With 15 seconds left, they swing one outside and losing his footing on the play. Number 4, Bashir Henry.
Probably set up play, John. There's only about 11 seconds left, and we need 15 before that play. Set up play for something to do, I'm sure.
So approximately 10 seconds to go before the break. Marist will probably just keep this one toward the end zone. They do have one timeout left. Quarterback draw. And he gets out of bounds at the 14-yard line. And there are a few seconds remaining.
Clock ran out. Clock ran out. There was 10 seconds left. That's a pretty quick 10 seconds. Maybe it was less, I don't know. But again, back to what I was mentioning before, you know, something mission one practice.
Well, when it rains, it pours, literally. And it has been a rough half for Marist, but the Bayonne Bees have taken it to them. They've gambled with a couple of plays, 2 fakes, one that worked for a first down. They kept the initial drive alive for a touchdown, and the other one, a 76-yard pass for a touchdown. So, big plays, the story in half number 1, and the Bees have definitely been the sharper of the two.
No question, John. They scored all 3 ways. They scored on offense, they scored on defense, they scored on special teams. So Richard's going to be real happy about that. And, you know, we scored an 18-0 win. This is the game. You know, we talked about, you know, both teams get up to this game, but I really, in my heart, feel that this is the game that John Richards really, really felt he had to win today. For whatever reason, okay? I'm not speculating anything, but just as a standpoint of having a tough season, a lot of bad things went his way, and right now things are going real good for him.
Well, he is only halfway home, however. Still 24 minutes to go. We'll see if Kevin Maddy can inspire his troops during the intermission. Reach halftime here in the final game at the Don as we know it. Bayonne 18, Marist. Got to look at the big touchdown pass by the punter slash tailback, Darius Hill. He has the cleanest jersey on the Bayonne sideline, but he's done a lot of damage. He's completed 2 passes, one for a first down that kept the drive alive, and one for a 76-yard touchdown. And he has been a key cog. Of course, Mike Embrich with an interception return for a touchdown. It was a 13-yard run by Cheatham with 1:07 to go in the first quarter that gave Bayonne a 6-0 lead. The attempted conversion run was failed. Then in the second quarter, on a pass, second consecutive pass out in the flat intended for Jaleel Lamb, it was picked off by Embrich. He went untouched into the end zone, made it 12-0. Run also failed, and then the 76-yard pass that you just saw for a touchdown, and the run failed again. So it's 18-0. Marist was on the move at the end of the half, but ran out of time, and they will kick off. And Darius Hill, Johnny on the spot again.
Well, Marist looking at, I guess that was an onside attempt, John, but not a very effective one. He got the ball up in the air, and it was very easily fieldable, and they almost good field position again. I know we're kicking into a win here, but gotta get a better onside kick than that.
Want to let the fans know that at the conclusion of this contest, the Don Ahern Thanksgiving Day Classic Memorial Trophy will be awarded to the winning team. Last year it was athletic director Vin Bello, who was quite joyous in holding that trophy. And last year presented by Kevin Ahern, son of legendary football coach Don Ahern. And Salerno up the gut. Anthony Salerno has a first down.
Well, Bayonne comes out here now, John, and they can establish an offensive. They pump one in. This game's probably going to be over. So the Royal Knights really have to suck it up here and stop Bayonne, get the football back, and make something happen. Everything going in Bayonne's favor right now. They got field position, they got the win, got the lead, and weather conditions such that psychologically make it even tougher to come back.
Want to wish all the fans at home watching this contest a happy Thanksgiving. Cold, raw, vintage Don Ahern Veterans Memorial Stadium day. And that football was loose for a while and then ultimately rolled out of bounds. Still ends up being a gain of 5 for the Bees.
Well, Cheatham had 4 or 5 yards, John, and could have been content with that. Tried to pitch the ball with 2 hands, and that's one thing you do not do when you run the option. Do not pitch the football with 2 hands. And be a turnover.
At the end of the game, not only will the Don Ahern Thanksgiving Day Classic Memorial Trophy be handed out to the winning team, Unico will present watches to the most valuable players from each squad, and then Brian Campbell will be presenting trophies on behalf of Hammerford Savings Bank, the MVPs and linemen of the game. And that's Glover, very close to a first down.
Stackhouse fired through and got some hands on him, but Glover breaks the tackle. And again, that's what he brings to the table for you, is that ability to break tackles. He's not the fastest running back around, but he's an effective ball carrier, will catch the ball north and south for you. Actually, it wasn't Stackhouse. It was number 33 from there. Walter Peavy. Your MVP in the whole
That is correct. He was the Hammerford Savings Bank. I think he was the defensive player of the game. Those folks will get plaques at the end of the year. Crown Trophy providing the trophies for us this year. While Cheatham gets the first down to the 30-yard line, and Paul, as you mentioned, coming out of the locker room, and Bayonne can punch another one in. Probably turn the lights out on this one.
That was a quarterback follow. The only thing that Bayonne would have to make sure they do, John, if they score here, is they get the conversion. But realistically, if they score and don't get a conversion, 24, Marist scored 3 times with 3-2-point conversions. But you want to make it close to get that 4th score.
First and 10 from inside the 30-yard line, and it's Glover. Flag down on the play. Glover picks up 7 and hold.
That was power. I think we're going to get a hold call on it. Bayonne offense is very effective here. Able to move the football really quite effectively against the Marist defense. Better than I thought they would, to be quite honest with you. They've done a great job here.
Speaking of doing a great job, how about Louis Serbio, Jen Ferruti, and Big John King assisting John Coop, putting up with rather trying weather conditions.
Well, we planned this weather for Coots. We like to put him to the ultimate test.
Take a look at the play again. Coots was actually visibly shivering before the start of the game. I can only imagine what kind of shape he's in right now.
Well, we got to get rid of that leather and get him a nice new coat. Nice fur coat.
Parker goes in motion from right to left. And Cheatham throwing the football for Parker. He completes it. Henry's out there, and Henry gets a piece, finally finished off by Stackhouse, but a nice gain on first down.
Cheatham has done a very nice job of running the offense today, John. Most effective game he's had all year, no question. Getting out on the sprint out, a nice little touch pass. He didn't have to throw it real hard. He had Parker open right away. Right, that's where you want to execute. If you're going to go to the short guy on the sprint down, that's where you want the pass to be made. Angling up the field, coming out of the backfield when he's open. Let the ball carrier get the rest for you.
2 minutes and 20 seconds gone by here, quarter number 3. John Hester along with Paul Giorgio, Jim Burton and his crew. Final football telecast of the season on a Thanksgiving Thursday. Cheatham had a hard time getting that football, and once he did, he picked up a couple of yards, about 4.
Really, exchange. Marist, but really not doing a great job of tackling today either, John. They missed a number of tackles. They've had players in position. Cheatham was able to slip. Here. Getting through Stackhouse. Normally when he gets thrown down, he's going to get down.
And Peavy banged up. So Mike Machucky will come in and replace Peavy.
Bad.
Not a good day for injury because the hits hurt that much more in the cold and the wet.
Sideline.
3rd down and 4. Cheatham dancing around the line of scrimmage, and that second push gets them very close to a first down, and the Bees will most certainly go for it. It'll be 4th and 1.
That was a situation where Cheatham could have made the pitch, but may have been instructed by coach to be careful. You are in 4th down territory. Let's be careful with the pitching. Let's not pitch it unless we absolutely have to. This would be a situation where you would have to if he's out there on the perimeter again. I think they're going to go to Serrano. We'll maybe go with a follow again.
Mike Machucky in on the tackle. A little bit of confusion on the Bees sideline. And they'll now have to use one of their timeouts.
Oh, that's a good timeout, John. I mean, ideally it's not, but if things are a little screwed up and you're starting to run late on the clock, you've got to take the time out and make sure you're on the same page here, because this is a big first down. It's not a first down that just will prolong your drive and maybe game-winning drive. It's going to be a great thing for you. So you've got to be careful everybody's on the same page. So John makes the right move there and not allow a delay of game to occur.
Brave souls sitting out in this rough weather. 2nd straight year. The only bad thing is, of course, it's playing on Thanksgiving. We're grateful that they have, but
Always wondered how you got away without the headgear. How you do?
hello, Jim.
See that long hair that you wear? Well, it's long. Look at it. That's the longest you've had in about 5 years.
I feel like a hippie. You see Frank Anderson and John Nagel.
Yeah.
This is one handsome press box.
Well, not the people in it. The press box itself.
It'll be 4th down and a big play coming up now for the Marist defense. If they can make a stop here, they can have some life. Otherwise, Bees getting dangerously close to putting this one away. And it's Cheatham, and Cheatham will have the first down. Cheatham still on his feet, and he fumbles.
Looks like it was stripped. He got it back.
The ball put on the ground a couple of times by both teams now, and he's been able to get him back.
Definitely pulled out of there. We have seen games where the bounces have not gone Bayonne's way. Of course, the Dickinson game being one of them. Just a fumble, and Dickinson picked it up and ran it in. But today, they've gotten the bounces, and they've really been opportunistic in recovering their own fumbles. Hit applied there late. The ball loose, but someone from Bayonne trailing that play, hustling, needs to recover.
Bees knocking on the door again. They've been very efficient this afternoon. And it's Glover. Glover is taken down by Stackhouse.
Good kick out block from Salerno on the power. To the outside, to the 5-hole, and see again what Glover brings to the table. Got that ability, Duval Cheatham is a good athlete, but only a sophomore. Not really quite as strong as Glover. And when you run the power with Duval, he doesn't break through the hole. He's not gonna get you that yard after hit like Glover will get.
Gain of 4 on the play.
I'm in Darius Hill, correction.
2nd down and 6 yards to go for a first down. The ball at about the 9. Cheatham on the option, running right. Cheatham cuts it up inside. He's down at the 5-yard line. And he's short of a first down by 2, maybe 3 yards.
Bayonne offensive line really doing an effective job here, John. Across the board that time on that play. They did a fine job of making room for Cheatham. Salerno and Glover also helping out on that. See, Marist looking the ball hawk.
They need a break. They need something to happen now. They need to make a play. Going in the wrong direction right now for the Marist Royal Knights. Cheatham, late pitch.
Well, once again, they were able to make up for the mistake. And, you know, that's again, John, you know, we talk about sophomore quarterback. You know, people are going to say, oh, he's played all year. Yeah, but he's still a sophomore. And that transition from sophomore to junior year, you don't do the little things like that, the little mistakes.
What to do?
Not a good decision, but something that he's going to learn over the year when he gets to reflect and work in the off season, look at film, and talk about some of the things that he did, and he will improve.
Well, it's a 4th down and 7 yards to go for a first down. The Bees need to get inside the 3-yard line. So another chance for the Marist defense to hold. Long count, lone back in the backfield is Glover. Cheatham rolling out to his left, looking in the end zone, throws over the middle, touchdown!
Well, no one from Marist coming up to force him on that sprint out. They were kind of sitting back in coverage, but you can't give him that long. He had just too much of the field to view. Mays is a great target. He broke free inside, and you've got yourself another Bayonne touchdown. And that's something you very rarely see, is your inside receiver break open like that on a sprint out. But when you give him that much time and give the quarterback that much opportunity to make a decision, he's going to find one of those guys sooner or later.
And the Bees will go for 2 again. They lead now 24-0 with 5:13 remaining. Wind at their back. They are 0 for 3 on conversion attempts. And they're going to put the ball in the air. Cheatham now decides he wants to run with it. And Cheatham makes his way inside the pylon for 2. And it's been all Bees. They now lead 26-0.
Great effort by Cheatham to stay in bounds. And you can see Marist sagging a little bit, John. The wind taken out of their sails here. It's going to take a very good effort for them to get back in this football game. I know earlier in the year, as I said, you know, there were a couple games where they made nice comeback attempts, but in these weather conditions, you know, it's psychologically tougher to come back. And I give them all the credit in the world if they can get back in this football game, but right now it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
5:13 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and the Bees redeeming themselves for last year's upset loss to Marist, and the sun, I believe, is attempting to peek out from behind the clouds.
Maybe somewhere on Mercury, or Venus, that's actually happening. But you're getting a little bit anxious. Here we go. Sprint left, and you can see no one from Marist forcing Cheatham to make a decision. They kind of sat, and that's why Mays broke free, doing his curl pattern from the outside.
How about the senior, Jesse Mays, having himself one heck of a day.
Very good game. Big plays.
Jesse Mays might have a watch with his name on it. One busy afternoon.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. And you know what, John? He's come close all year, too, with getting player of the game award either on offense or defense. Certainly is a good candidate.
He's been a very steady performer. That's probably what, I guess, hurts him on a week-to-week basis when it comes to individual awards, because he is so steady.
Yeah.
And guys do some remarkable things from week to week, outshine him, but on a weekly basis overall, as good a player as they have. That's the first time we really got to see him play it out. Take those long strides.
Hello, Willie Wilkes.
There you go. Chansky is there first, ripping at the football.
Well, they all probably feels they'd like a little more here. Never have enough against a team with Marist explosiveness. Thus far, they have not shown that. Bayonne has really dominated the line play. 9 times out of 10, John, that's the difference in the ball game.
Marist needs points and needs them in a hurry. Well, the Royal Knights slow getting up to the line of scrimmage. Really no sense of urgency as Henry goes in motion. And it's Baker who keeps it. And Baker is buried at the 38-yard line. Baker seems to be most affected by the wet field. Everybody else seems to be relatively unfazed. Baker does seem to be tippy-toeing a little bit.
I think that's true. Not having his best day today. He really hasn't even looked to go with the pitch at all. Kind of just turn the ball up the field. Let's take a look. Although it was a good job by Kachansky of forcing him back inside. You see on that option, you want to try and attack these defensive ends outside shoulder. Baker can't get that done.
Now Baker to throw, throws it down, and it's intercepted by Jimenez at the 45. Jimenez, there's a flag on the play. Jimenez with the head of steam, and he gets buried from behind. Knocked down at the 30-yard line. That play will be coming back, but it will be Bayonne football.
Once again, pressure on Baker, and he throws it up for grabs. Jimenez, who made that great play before on the fake punt, comes up with another turnover. And you know what, Preston, you may be right. The sun may just peek through here, much as it did last year in the second half.
So a clip is the call, but the turnover goes against the Royal Knights.
Get the look, it was the veer pass, and you can see Kurt Bulworth is the reason why that ball was intercepted. He was right in Baker's face, and probably not a good decision by Baker. But, you know, Marist does have to make something happen here, and you're forced into errors when you're in a desperate situation. Good hustle coming back upfield by Stinson to make the tackle. But the Bees will start with tough field position, however, they can afford to take some time off the clock. They're not in a great hurry. 26-0 lead.
3 minutes and 30 seconds approximately remaining in the third quarter. And the Bees came out firing on all cylinders, and they have made some big plays in addition to steady play.
Oh boy.
That is Glover mowing over a would-be tackler. That was number 23 for Marist. It just happened to be in the way. Chad Perkins.
Chad doesn't get all that much playing time, but maybe after that hit, he may not want to stay out there. Glover is really bringing it today. First time all year he's been really healthy. Salerno's done a nice job of leading for it. You can see the lead block on Stackhouse. And Glover dished out to Hurt on that play.
Welcome to high school.
He's really coming off the ball well, John, in unison, almost to the extent where it looks like they're getting off a little early, but just beating Marist to the punch, down after down. And John, you have to go back to that fake punt, that second fake punt, really, as a turning point to this football game. Marist had come up with the stop. They were going to get the football with the win, trailing 12-0, albeit, but they would have had good field position. Bayonne runs the fake punt. Marist doesn't expect it. 18-0.
And it's Glover who gets the call. Glover is short of a first down by about a yard. But the clock continues to roll. You see a white shirt.
Well, it used to be white. Just a straight counter action. I don't even think they had a pull on that. I think it was just a cross buck.
Tommy Kachansky actually lined up at fullback.
Yeah, he plays a little full. Salerno will break.
Of course, Kachansky playing in his final game, as are all the seniors. What a way to go out for the Bayonne club.
No question. It continues the way it is. This is a great win. And, you know, a game, as we said, talked to John Rickard during the week and Kevin Batty. It just seemed like John really was really very, very focused on this game. And not that Kevin wasn't, but it's a big game for both coaches. But John just seems to be like, he's almost obsessed with this game again.
And the words of Vin Heskley's ringing in his ears last year.
Yeah. Look at this.
And look at Glover go!
Man. Wow. That's just effort. I mean, that play was covered and 4 or 5 guys hit you. And that was just not to be denied. That's a young boy who had a very, very tough season. Hurt all year. Played in a couple big games, but not enough of them. And, you know, I talked to a lot of people throughout the county, and I would say, you know, this team, they're Terrence Glover away from winning 2 or 3 more games. And they say, yeah, you overrate them. Well, guess what? You're watching them today.
Season's worth of frustration coming out today for Terrence Glover. And a rare treat now for Bee fans. Flag on the play. And I believe that's actually Tommy Kachansky's younger brother who's doing the kicking.
Right. He's now with a comfortable lead. They're going to give this a shot. Maybe they'll get it worked out for next season.
I still want to see that field goal. Tommy Kachansky runs the special teams, of course.
Yeah.
His son's involved in special teams. Tommy, the long snapper, doing kicking.
Right.
And special teams playing a big part in this game. Of
No
course, Tom
question.
was rooting over Marist as well.
Oh, yeah. That's where we started out. You know, Bayonne works very hard on special teams. John Ricketts allows Coach Kachansky a lot of time for special teams, and it's paying big dividends today, John, as you said.
Hit the post.
Yeah. It's like a Ranger power play.
So, we'll continue to have some problems with the extra point conversion, whatever you wish to call it, but it is now 32-0 in favor of the Bees. And that certainly tastes awful good for the Bayonne club. And I don't have to agree with you, Paul. I just got the feeling, too, that maybe it's not even as much a feeling that John wanted it more. Maybe he just needed it.
Yeah,
Maybe,
could be. Could be. You know, not. You know, everybody wants to have a winning season. Of course, Kevin only in his first year, so you know he still has a few more years to get things going here for the Marist program. You know, in John's case, you know, he had a tough year. A lot of people didn't expect him to be in this position right now. And there were people talking, saying, hey, you know, what's going on here? You know, the team should be better. And I don't care what anybody says. They do a great job, and you know, not having a Terrence Glover on the field when you don't have tons of depth is definitely a big factor. I guarantee you, had he been healthy, this team would have won a couple more football.
Still a fairly good crowd on hand.
Oh yeah.
Well, it has a little bit.
Nothing going right now for the Marist Royal Knights. I mean, Jalal Lamb is a great football player. Things aren't even going his way right now, so it'd be nice to see, you know, for Marist's sake, some positive things happen here. You don't want to go out, you know, lay a total egg in your last game of the season. The Royal Knights can get some offense rolling here.
Jim Zagarowski, the athletic director at Marist, very accommodating, helping out.
Oh, no question. He's been fantastic. He had a lot to do with he and Joe Broderick and yourself, of course, involved in getting the dinner rolling and the coaches. That was a great time.
Now it appears with Bayonne comfortably ahead in Vinny. We'll get a free dinner out of Joe Broderick and his wife, but he's going to have to now wear a Bayonne sweatshirt at the Marist Bayonne doubleheader in January.
Oh, the basketball doubleheader.
Yeah. That just flat out ridiculous. It's like having to wear a coat jacket all week.
You're going to start, eh?
No more bets.
I hope your boy Raymond comes to play this week. Oh, he'll come to play.
And your little attempted sabotage did not pay off last night.
He wasn't there.
Paul, at the Harrison game, look at his he could maybe stick his foot out and trip all Ray Lucas.
He's such a good athlete, he probably wouldn't even get hurt.
Just jump over. And
Oh,
Baker
man.
is sacked. Free football.
Bullwith again. Good gosh, I tell you. Batty with his head in his hands right now. This is a nightmare for him. And I know the feeling is, you know, when you coach this game, it's an emotional game. You get really up for it when things don't go right. It can be devastating. On the other side, a much different feeling.
And Bayonne takes over an excellent field position. And a 32-0 lead.
And Baker has not had a chance on those play fakes. He's had people, especially Bullwith, in his face all day.
Isaac Coleman and Eric Nevin in the game. And Darius Hill.
Rickard's starting to make some changes, which is nice to see. We'll enter the fourth quarter, and hopefully he'll continue. We want to give your seniors, you know, a little time to play in their last game, but nice to get that bench cleared up, and he's starting to do that now.
Well, this is a game everyone hopes will continue for a long time to come. So, be on the other end of this.
Sure. Sure.
What goes around comes around. I remember Marty Barrett and the Red Sox and miraculously defeated the Angels and then saw the Mets do the same thing to them. He said, I know what goes around comes around, but I just didn't think it happened that fast. So,
Yeah.
never know.
That game resulted. That series resulted in a guy actually committing suicide. Not
That's
anymore.
right, that is correct.
Never got over it. Shame.
That was Gene Mark was the coach of the Angels.
Yeah.
He had a couple of monumental ones. That is the end of the third quarter. Frank Anderson hit it right on the button.
Okay, we'll give him his job back.
Right on the button with that one. You Paul lit a fire under Frank.
That wasn't the intention.
We have a good time up here with Frank at the Marist game. Of course, we don't know what the basketball schedule is. As you take a look at Coach Batty addressing his players, and it's going to be a tough 12 minutes for him. But knowing Coach Batty, they're going to play hard. And you're going to see, when you take a look at John Rickard, and you can only imagine what's going through his head right now.
Well, good things for sure. It's been a very, very frustrating year for Coach Rickard, and he's putting a lot of that behind him today, no question.
12 minutes to go until promises to be a pretty fair celebration for the Bees. We'll be back. Score after 3, 32-0 Bayonne. And it was Danny Gonzalez who made the play. That one was intended for Eric Nevin.
Now, fade pattern to Nevin for Gonzalez for nice underneath coverage. Played it well, a little underthrown. And gets a turnover for Marist, so positive thing for the Royal Knights, which makes things a little better for them. However, still deep in a hole, not good field position. And they had a good first series on offense, and then just after that, it wasn't going to happen. I think, losing Kevin Elam didn't help them. It certainly hurt them early. He adds a lot to their offense. Because Bayonne has really dominated the line for them today. That's normally the bottom line.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the 10-yard line after the Gonzalez interception. Jaleel Lamb gets the carry. Makes the tackle.
Well, Bullock is definitely in there, and I think Salerno with him.
Getting a little bit more difficult to tell. All right.
Salerno's had a nice game on defense as well. Just a sophomore. This is going to be a team that's with a lot of potential coming into next season, John. We had said at the beginning of the year that this is a team that's probably 1 year away. That year's going to arrive next year.
Second down and 8 yards to go for a first down. He needs to move the ball out to the 20-yard line, opening minute of the fourth quarter. And it's Leo Lamb and a little extra. Almost a penalty.
That was more of a shove than a real hit. So Jaleel Lamb, his last game, did you get a good look at Jaleel? And he's been a great performer for Marist in the last 4 seasons, and we wish him nothing but good things. He's a good kid and a very good player. He's a D1 player. He can play on that level. So hopefully we'll get to see him down the road.
Cheerleader. 4 straight county titles. Third down and 9.
Mix up on the Bayonne defense there.
Baker with time, throws it over the middle.
Oh!
Picked off at the 32.
Mays? Yeah, Jesse Mays. Great play. That's a great play coming back on the ball. Benson had some room there. He was open and Baker got to throw it. Mays coming back with a long stride. Take a look at it. Straight drop. Baker sending it to the post. And Mays coming back. Great play.
What size wrist do you have, son?
Now, what are we giving out here today? What's the rotation?
Well, we're going to have to, I think we get to pick the lineman of the game. And the gentleman from Unico, I know Alan Rosado, Leo Smith, Willie Lawson, they're going to pick an MVP, but last year, Paul Cancro was down there as well. We kind of just agreed on it. So what I will do is take your strong recommendations with me down to the field
For
our most valuable player for each team, and then the lineman. I think the lineman will be exclusively Hammerfall.
Okay, so their guy's going to pick that, and we'll.
We can do the lineman, and
we can do the lineman.
and then I'll lobby.
Lobby.
We'll go down and lobby on
MVP?
Yeah, I think that's how it was last year. So. And don't forget at the end of the game too, I did notice that Kevin Ahern is in the building and
Right, for the team trophy, right?
yes, and the Don Ahern Thanksgiving Day Classic Memorial Trophy.
Right.
Well, just a really good person. I know John Ricketts speaks very highly of Kevin. He's been very supportive of John, and being in John's office yesterday before the game, he doesn't forget where he came from. Is that looked like it was a chance for getting a yard or two, but he reflects back. Coach Ahern certainly left an impact with him, and I think this is the game that John looks back at Coach Ahern when he thinks of this Thanksgiving game, and he mentioned it on the air the other night that he wants to get that trophy back in the Ahern family hands,
right.
and by winning today, he will do just that. So John at least has a sense of where he came from.
Oh yeah, no question. A lot of Aaron's players, Dane and Hughes, even some of the lesser names, always spoke highly of Coach Aaron. I got to know Donnie. Turn over here. I got to know Donnie in the latter portion of his life, and he was a great guy. An excellent person, all for the kids, all for the town, funny, and great sense of humor. Gave so much to the community, school system. So he's not a hard guy to forget.
Coach Ahern, I guess you call him a man's man, guy.
Yeah.
Who,
he was great. I know Jim Cleary in the crowd today. Coach Dickinson. Coach Ahern loved Coach Ahern. He played there during some tough years too, and he had nothing but great things to say about Coach Ahern.
Victor Brown, Salerno.
He's been a demon today. But tell you what. Are we going lineman offense and defense?
No, just one for each team.
One lineman from each team?
Yeah.
Okay.
And ordinarily, I guess the thought is to try to make it a senior. Probably won't be a problem.
Well,
Need to still the juniors have a chance to get next year. Second down and 11. Baker keeps it this time. So across midfield for the Marist Royal Knights, and you really feel for the Marist kids because Bayonne full of energy, getting their licks in, and Marist trying to make something happen.
No, it's been a kind of game. Bayonne sees control of it on that fake punt. You get them look at that play. Baker continuing to work hard, trying to make something positive happen.
Marion Reeves on the play. Actually, Kevin Batty has a relationship with defensive coordinator Chris Venezia.
Sure, that's right. And one of his assistant coaches, the offensive coordinator, his name slips me right now, and I apologize for that. Although I think we've got it on the roster. Let's see. I think it's John Rosati. I think it's John Rosati who does the offense. And those three fellows, he, Coach Venezia, and Kevin Batty, all played at Verona High School. I don't think it's the same time, but it's in different years. So the Hillbillies have moved into the Bay City and done a good job here. That is their nickname.
I know.
Just to let you know, I'm not saying, they weren't hanging out with Jed Clampton. That is the school nickname. One of the more unique in the state.
It sure is.
One of my favorites. I'll tell you one of my favorites in a minute.
Victor Brown fights his way forward down to the 44 for a first down.
Brown, as I said earlier, he had a good opening series for Marist, and he'll play till the end. But one of my favorite nicknames is Willingboro. Chimera.
What?
It's got something to do with a dragon. Mythical dragon or something. But that was one of the most unique I've seen.
What in the wide world
I was
is
always hoping that Ellie Mae was the mascot for Verona, though. Certainly my favorite.
I like Granny.
Yeah, you would.
And there's Baker swinging it outside, almost a lateral that goes out of bounds. Ruled an incomplete pass. 7:09 remaining in the contest. He's comfortably ahead.
Baker, I think, could have had Khalil Jackson deep had he looked out there and maybe thrown it out over the shoulder. Hill was in the area, but Jackson with that height may have been able to grab one deep, and Baker decided not to do it. Threw it out to the flat instead.
Marist had an alumni breakfast this morning. There was a very good crowd on hand.
Is that where you were all morning?
Been taking her out, throwing me a couple bagels in my trouble. Leo Lamb takes a pop from Embrich. Tackled it to 35, and Lamb a little bit shaken up on that one.
Good shot. You don't normally see Jalal Lamb laid out on the field. And you hope that he's okay. It's a nice hit there. That's probably his best run of the day, too. That's the sad part. As I said, Jalal Lamb is not the kind of kid that will lay out on the field, so he must be hurt.
He went shoulder to shoulder with Embrich. Embrich gives away a little bit of size, but he's feisty.
Take a look at it. Good power to the outside. He got a good block. Yeah, I think you're right, Joe. I think it might be the shoulder. So Embrich got him. Shoulder's a funny thing, you get hit just right. Be the strongest guy in the world, but that joint is very susceptible to a well-placed hit.
And that can be a very painful injury.
I separated mine playing across, and it's not fun.
So a timeout on the field with 6:57 to go. Don't forget to watch Sports Corner. And 35, and Lamb a little bit shaken up on that one.
That's a good shot. You don't normally see Jalal Lamb laid out on the field. hope, that he's okay. Took a nice hit there. That's probably his best run of the day, too. That's the sad part. Jalal, as I said, Jalal Lamb is not the kind of kid that will lay out on the field, so he must be hurt.
Well, he went shoulder to shoulder with Embrich. Embrich gives away a little bit of size, but he's feisty.
Take a look at it. The power to the outside. He got a good block. Yeah, I think you're right, John. I think it might be the shoulder. So Embrich got him. Shoulder's a funny thing, you get hit just right. Could be the strongest guy in the world, but that joint can be very susceptible to a well-placed hit.
And that can be a very painful injury.
I separated mine playing lacrosse, and it is not fun.
So a timeout on the field with 6:57 to go. Don't forget to watch Sports Corner every Monday night at 7 and 11. Of course, Sports Wrap is on. I don't know exactly what times those are on, but don't forget to watch all our programming. And we will have our final football edition, or football-based edition of Sports Corner on Monday.
Final poll coming up.
Where will the Lions be?
That'll be fourth if Emerson loses. If Emerson wins, we're going to reward the Bulldogs and move them up to fourth.
So, Prep gets the nod.
Yeah, they'll stay in third, unless they lay an egg against Hudson, which I don't think is going to happen. I think you got a better chance of Custer winning. But you never know.
You never do know.
Prep will be starting a freshman quarterback in that game, too. A kid who's supposed to be quite a prospect.
Victor Brown gets the call and appears to have the first down.
Marist doesn't have many more options now as far as backs, with Lamb and Elam both out of the game. So Victor Brown will probably be carrying get the bulk of the carries here down the stretch.
Marist was bidding for 2 consecutive. It would have been the first time in the history of the series that they would have gone back-to-back, but not able to pull off the feat. Victor Brown again. Victor Brown was the one in the Hoboken game that got out of hand early, continued to fight down to the last second.
He's a tough ball carrier. He had a great game against us this year. Really made their offense go. As I was saying, we were way up on Marist, and they came back in that game, and he was a big reason for it. But the accolades go to Bayonne tonight. There's no question about that. They really dominated both lines of scrimmage and had some big special team plays that went a long way.
That draw was about to be blown up, and Baker very wisely pulled it away.
A little late hit there on the sideline. Yeah, now we're going to get another one. Uh-oh. You don't want that to happen. Definitely don't want that to happen. I see some ejections here. If I were officiating, there would be some ejections at this point, because you don't want that to continue.
And you can tell Baker has been taking exception. He's really been taking a beating. And with the game out of hand, his fuse is very short at this point. And you don't want to see anything silly happen.
No, it hasn't been a real competitive game, but it's been a clean game up to this point.
And it certainly would be imperative upon John Rickard and his boys to win with class.
Coach Batty now addressing his entire team. I'm sure that's what he's talking about.
Well, as they sort out the ejections and the troubles that are going on, we're going to step away for a second. 5:13 to go until turkey time. Bayonne cruising.
to escape a fire? Well, would you believe you could learn the answer from a baby?
If you get caught in a fire, here's what you should know. Get down on your knees and you remember, please, to keep your body low.
Line of scrimmage and had some big special team plays that went a long way.
That draw was about to be blown up, and Baker very wisely pulled it away.
Oh,
And then
a little late hit there on the sideline. Yeah, now we're going to get another one. Uh-oh. You don't want that to happen. Definitely don't want that to happen. I see some ejections here. By officiating, there would be some ejections at this point, but you don't want that to continue.
And you can tell Baker has been taking exception. He's really been taking a beating. And with the game out of hand, his fuse is very short at this point. And you don't want to see anything silly happen.
No. No, it's been it hasn't been a real competitive game, but it's been a clean game up to this point.
And it certainly would be imperative upon John Rickard and his boys to win with class.
Coach Batty now addressing his entire team. I'm sure that's what he's talking about. Yeah.
Well, as they sort out the ejections and the troubles that are going on, we're going to step away for a second. 5:13 to go until turkey time. Bayonne cruising. While we were away, John Rickard doused the old Gatorade bucket.
Oof.
Not a good day for that, but I guess,
Fun
you know,
today.
sure as heck isn't going to mind. Mark Callan carry. So no one got thrown out of the game, but who ahead just prevail.
And the referee did a good job, and the coaches did a good job. The direction breaking it right up. You see Coach Rickard, I tell you, he's smiling, so if you thrown that bucket on him a year ago today, he would have turned around and broken your neck. But hey, he deserves it. It's been a tough season and a great end for him. And of course, on the other side of the field, it's been a tough season for Coach Batty too. Got to be disappointed, but he did get a couple nice wins this season.
And he has a relatively young core himself.
Yeah, he does got a lot of good skill players coming back. Got a lot of players total coming. He loses Lamb, he loses Henry, but most of his team will be back. I mean, Elam's back. Right? So, good things coming for both these programs. Yeah, Elam's going to June. It was a Stackhouse too.
That's right. We just got the 4-minute warning, and the clock read 4:00 on the button. So a heck of a half out of Frank Anderson. Really brought his A game with him. I guess it was that locker room speech. Now we have a little bit of tension up here.
Mark that. Here's a goal you can shot and go got it. Now it's their best drive of the game, although Bayonne really hasn't made some changes on defense, but they still got a number of starters in there.
Well, Rickard was 0 for his last 2 on Thanksgiving. He lost his first as the head coach, and lost his last as a player, 21 to 15. So, as you said, he really wanted it. He got it.
And yeah, it's an excellent coaching staff, very tight unit. Of course, they had the loss of Coach Forward early in the year. That set them back a little bit, but they bounced back. And, good guys over there, Venezia, great guy.
Bobby Nevitt,
Chris Wolford,
Nico Barrett, Jimmy Topuski.
Yep. They're all good guys. And also the newcomer to the staff came on late, Wayne Shealy.
Right.
Has been around for many years. Did a great job. Somebody who we did not mention was all the way to an old staff that did a great job.
Clock ticking. So minutes to go, so I'll be heading down. So let's figure out who the lineman of the game will be.
My estimation, well, I'm going to take a guy who only plays defensive line, but I'm going to take Salerno.
Right.
I think he had a great game for Bayonne.
Well, how about I make a recommendation along the lines of Salerno being a sophomore?
Oh, okay. We want to try and lean toward a senior?
I would think Tony Friedish, but
okay. It's not a bad choice. I always like Walworth, but that's fine. Pretty good choice.
and that pass broken up down near the goal line. And for Marist, any ideas?
The pulse back then.
Yeah.
So he had a great game defensively. Offensively, not bad from the center spot.
Stackhouse and Freeze in the center respectively for Marist and Bayonne, and it's the most valuable player. This is the
For
one
Bayonne?
Yeah.
I gotta go Jesse Mays.
Hopefully I won't be met with any resistance. How about on the Marist side?
Most valuable player. I think Victor Brown did a good job today.
I would agree. Now I just have to convince those guys.
Yeah. Well,
They're reasonable men. And Baker hit as he throws the ball. And that was Salerno, the guy again.
yeah, what a great man. He's gonna have a nice career here.
Well, I'm going to head downstairs.
Okay.
And
Stay away from the hot dog stand on your way
I
down.
don't know if I'll have enough time. So that'll be that. I will go downstairs, get the trophies,
Let me do this here for you at the end.
Okay. Okay, and Paul will give you the scoring recap as we situated down.
After you finish, or?
Yeah, or whatever fits.
Okay.
All right.
Sure. See you later, buddy. Okay, John's gonna head down as this game winds down. Bayonne has taken over on down. Timeout taken on the field. Coach Rickard was putting his second unit in, and Batty will counter with his second unit. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back to wrap this game up and then have the post-game festivities.
When young bull elephants from a national park in South Africa were moved to different locations without the presence of an adult male, they began to wantonly kill.
Starting to be broken for a number of years. Minute to go in the game. Second squad's in for both teams. Bayonne enjoying a 32-0 lead. They have led from start to finish. And have dominated the game, no question about it. John down on the field right now, getting ready for the various awards that we'll be giving out. Some MVP awards being given, and also a team trophy. And then Don Ahern. Dive inside. 5-yard gain for Bayonne, so their second team is continuing where the first team finished off. And the clock is going to run out. I believe that might be the last play of the game. The Bees will stay in the huddle. The Bayonne Bees dominating here and avenging last year's 6-0 defeat as the clock winds down. They may get one more play off. Crowd counting it down, and the young kids want to try and run a play anyway, and they do get the snap off. Big gain, and a first down for Bayonne as the game ends, and the Bees are going to tear down the goalpost. It has been spoken during the week. Last year Marist had done it. John Ricketts said we don't tear down goalposts, but I guess he felt otherwise. Hopefully no one will get hurt. And Bayonne has torn down the goalpost. And what goes around comes around, I guess. And it's part of the enjoyment process. The Bees are very jubilant. A lot of frustration being let out on the field now in a positive way. As Bayonne has defeated Marist 32-0 in the 35th meeting between these two teams. John Hester down on the field trying to get the post-game festivities underway. We'll be taking it down to John momentarily. Happy Bayonne contingency. As you see the players now coming over, actually tearing the goalpost down in this place. It's not that dangerous thing. Not talking about uprooting anything, so everybody appears okay. Coaches meet the center of the field. Look at Coach Kevin Batty, obviously very disappointed, but there'll be another season next year. He's got a lot of players coming back. And Marist will be a force to be reckoned with once again, as they normally are. You see Batty with Bashir Henry, one of his seniors who will be graduating. And the victorious coach, a man who has endured a tough season and has had it end on a very positive note here today, John Rickard, with his first Thanksgiving Day win as a coach. And a convincing one in that, 32-0. John gets the coaches and the players involved, getting them prepared for the post-game festivities. And we will recap the scoring for you. Cheatham got things going with a 13-yard run in the first quarter. There was 1:07 left in the first quarter. And gave Bayonne a 6-0 lead. The run failed. Bayonne increased that lead to 12-0 with 8:11 to go in the second quarter on an interception return by Embrich to make it 12-0. Then later in the second quarter, a 76-yard pass off the fake punt. This was the key play in the game. As Jesse Mays took the pass from Hill with 2:10 to go. No one was covering Mays. He was lined up in punt formation on the outside as a contained man. And Bayonne recognized it, went to it. It was the second time in the game they had done it, making it 18-0. Jesse Mays went the distance. That kind of set the tone for the second half. Bayonne came out and just kind of continued dominating. A 10-yard pass play from Cheatham to Mays with 5:13 to go in the third quarter, made it 26-0. Cheatham's run, of course, made it 26. And then the final score, a 27-yard run by Terrence Glover, who was playing in full time for the first time in a number of weeks with 1:13 to go in the game. Glover, John Rickard was quite happy to see in the lineup, as was the entire Bayonne contingency. A 32-0 victory capped with that play. And that was it. Marist did not really threaten until late in the game. But as I mentioned, the key play in this game was the fake punt with 2:10 to go in the first half. A 76-yard play from Darius Hill to Jesse Mays, which really broke the back of the Marist Royal Knights and sent Bayonne on their way to victory. As John continues to get things ready for the post-game festivities down on the field. Great day for Bayonne High School on this Thanksgiving Day victory. And the Marist Obviously, not a great day as far as the score, but still a holiday, and hopefully both teams, coaching staffs and entire student bodies will have a great Thanksgiving Day. Later today, that will connect as we see John trying to get everyone sorted out. We have a number of awards to give out on the field. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with the post-game presentation after this.
Now we're going to have the Bayonne Embrich.
On behalf of Unico National Bayonne chapter, I present you with this watch, an excellent game, and it must be that cafeteria food I see every day. Fifth period, congratulations. And you and your family also be invited to a Unico meeting for dinner with us, okay? Again.
Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have Brian Campbell from Hamilton Savings Bank step forward, and we're going to present, first we'll present the lineman of the game. For Marist, number 55, Paul Stackhouse.
It's been a great game. Sorry about the loss. Congratulations.
Paul Stackhouse. And the lineman of the game for the Bayonne Bees, number 58, Tony Freed.
You're the man who won the game for us. Here you go. Kept the line up on the whole game. Congratulations.
Now we're going to hand out the most valuable player, the Pamperful Savings Bank most valuable player for Marist is number 27, Victor Brown. And now, the most valuable player, the Pamperful most valuable player, he's already got a watch, number 18, Jesse Mays.
Again,
I think quick, yeah.
Congratulations.
Back up, yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell.
Good luck, and let everybody know to help Marist and Bayonne whenever they do fundraising. The bank will help, and if Bayonne help both teams, everybody's better.
That's Brian Campbell from Pamperful Savings Bank. And now we want to bring in Kevin Ahern for the presentation, along with John O'Donnell. Okay, here we go.
On behalf of the Ahern Foundation, Scholarship Committee, we've got Jim Finnegan, President, John O'Donnell, Vice President, my family. My mother couldn't make it tonight. This trophy, perpetual trophy, goes back where it belongs, Bayonne High School. John Rickard, Mike Wanko, and Joe Broderick.
I'd like to thank the athletic director for both schools, Mr. Singh, Mr. Joe Broderick. I think it's another successful game. Obviously, the weather is helping us out again. We're shooting for next year with no rain so we can have a new stadium packed. I just want to thank the Ahern Association for this trophy. It'll be in good hands for 1 year, I can guarantee you that. Thank you.
All right, let's drop. You have a minute.
Here you go, Don.
And now we're going to get a chance to talk with Coach John Rickard. John, last year that was a tough loss. Waited 365 days. Was it worth it?
I was hoping it wasn't 366 days, John. You know, the game hurt so bad for me last year personally. Obviously, I was one of the players that lost as a senior to Marist. It was a 12-year burden hanging on my back, and some people may think that's crazy, but
I've expressed to you what this game does mean to me, and it was been a long time coming, and obviously I thought last year was the year it wasn't. So I think somebody just made me wait another year to realize how special this game is and how much you should want to win it and prepare for it. And I'm really proud of the way our kids played today, John. I mean, our kids played a super football game. I thought our attitude all week was very businesslike, where I think last year we were a little rah, 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 kind of talking up, moving up before the game, and they obviously celebrated after the game. I didn't have to pump our kids too much to keep it down and businesslike. They were very professional about it, and I'm very excited about the outcome of the game. And Marist is a very good football team with some players, and to shut those guys out, we're very excited about high school, and our future is very bright, John.
Well, just talk a little bit about the connections. Being in your office, you have a lot of clippings about Coach Don Ahern. You can said during the week, get this trophy back in the family's hands, the Ahern family. To get that trophy from Kevin Ahern, it's got to really mean something to you.
I can't tell you how many times over the course of 365 days I've thought about that trophy being at Marist High School. And it could have been from anything to see in Turkey. That's where it got for me, John. When I seen in Turkey, I thought that trophy up in Marist High School. I was talking about superintendent a couple months ago. I went into his office, and he had a poster of John F. Kennedy kind of thinking. He said, I feel my daughter brought me this trophy when I had the weight of the Bayonne school system on my shoulders now. And I'll tell you what, this year, more than ever, and especially these last 2 weeks, I felt the weight of the Bayonne football program on my shoulders, and it was getting real heavy for me, John. The game couldn't come fast enough. And I just want to thank, obviously, Joe Broderick, Dr. Wanko, the administration of Bayonne High School. It's been a tough year, John. And I think what's happened this year for me is we've seen who's with John Rickard and who's not with John Rickard. Some of the people, it's easy to kick you when you're down. When you're 6-3 on top of the world, everybody likes you. When you start losing, people start coming after you. I'm real proud of our kids the way they hung in there all year. It's going to be easy for them to walk away, quit. But I'm just real excited. And obviously my wife, Jane, I got two beautiful daughters at home. You want to give thanks for having a beautiful family and all that love and everything like that. I have 3. I have Ashley also. But after the loss last year, I couldn't do it. And it felt bad that I shorted my family, which is number one. It goes family, faith, football.
Yeah.
They're kind of reversed sometimes. But obviously it's going to be a much nicer Thanksgiving, and I just want to wish everybody out there happy Thanksgiving.
So I suppose we will not be watching It's a Wonderful Life this year.
I told you last year, when you're watching It's a Wonderful Life and not watching Detroit, it's been a long time. And John, I don't know you cut me off. I do want to thank Cablevision once again for being down here. I was driving here at 7 o'clock, and I was right behind the Cablevision van with Jim Burton. I want to thank both schools, obviously Georgia Public Gov for giving us the food, you and Paul, Pat for doing Sports Corner. There's a lot of thanks today, and I just want to make sure everybody gets thanked. And, Mr. Ahern, he'd be proud of us today, the way our kids came out and played. We were the underdog. We think of him often. We have the posters up there. And, we're going to have his dinner coming up Saturday night to Columbus, and we'll make sure that trophy's there so I can take a look at it.
Turkey's going to taste good today.
I'll tell you what, it's going to taste a lot better than it did last year.
Pass the cranberries, son.
Sure. John, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Happy Thanksgiving. We're going to send it up to Georgia to wrap things up on this Thanksgiving Thursday.
And of course, it wouldn't be John Hester without a reference to food. But a great job once again by John on the field with his post-game interviews. And let us reiterate the MVP awards that were given out here today. First of all, the most valuable players. Victor Brown of Marist, the fullback who